All right, so capital letters for the vertices. To name the sides, it is use lowercase letters, but so like side A is going to be across from angle A. All right, so your sides are always across from your angles. All right, so side B is going to be across from angle B, and it's a lowercase letter. Right, side C is across from angle C, and it's a lowercase c. All right, so knowing that is really important in trig because we name all of our angles and sides of triangles and we talk about them a lot. So, and we go more into that as we start drawing triangles later, but okay, any questions about naming angles and sides of a triangle? That's fairly straightforward, kind of familiar. We talked about it a little bit. Did we get to that in Algebra 2 at the end? I think I threw some last minute trig in some videos. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so acute angles. Sleeve of this jacket is like getting on my nerves because like the button keeps like hitting my iPad and it's making it hard to write. And I recorded that part too. Whatever, it's fine. It's like they're really here. Okay, so acute angles are less than 90. Can you guys see that blue okay? All right. I forget that this isn't my janky projector that like distorted all my colors. So that like stuff that I could see was hard for you guys to see. All right, so a right angle is what? 90 degrees. So it equals 90. All right, obtuse, right, is more than 90. All right, a straight angle is what? Yep, is equal to 180. And a reflex angle is what? Yep, more than 180, but less than what? Yep. All right, and there's a chart there on the bottom of page 2 with triangle classifications. I'm not going to write all of those up here. We're just going to talk through them. So you've got scalene triangles, right? What's a scalene triangle? Right, none of the sides are equal. All the sides are a different length. Do not stick your hands in your mouth. I know. All right, and then you have isosceles triangles, which have 2 equal or congruent sides. Equilateral. Equilateral is all 3 that are equal. So you can classify them by sides and then by angles. You have acute triangles that have 3 acute angles. You've got a right triangle, which would have 1 right angle. Obtuse is going to have 1 obtuse angle. And then equiangular is 3 equal angles. Right, and again, those are in the chart there on the bottom, or kind of on the side, really, of page 2. Is the Pythagorean theorem.
Isn't that like A squared plus B squared?
Yes.
Oh.
All right, so I'm telling you right now, this is going to be your best friend in trig class. We're going to use it all the time. So get comfortable with it. Right, so yes, it is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So, and this is for finding sides of right triangles. Only right triangles. Right? So primarily this first part of trig, we're really only specifically dealing with right triangles. Yeah, so later on we learn how to find missing pieces of not right triangles, but for right now, for the first several months, we're dealing with right triangles. Okay, so remember that C is always your hypotenuse. It's always the side that's opposite your right angle. Right, so C is always going to be your longest side. So when you solve these, if C is smaller than either of your other two A and B numbers, you're wrong. That means you've made a mistake somewhere and you need to go back and check your work.
Is this the sine, cosine, and tangent on the point?
Yes. Tomorrow. Yeah, so no, we'll get into trig functions and stuff tomorrow and work with that in a lot of the rest of this chapter. But today we're just kind of easing our way in. So, and remember A and B are your two legs. It doesn't matter what order or like what one is A, which one is B, as long as it's not the hypotenuse. All right, so let's look at an example of that. So let's say we have a right triangle and we've got one leg that's 3 and the other one is 1, and we need to find C. Right, so 3 and 1 are going to be our A and B, so it's going to be 3 squared plus 1 squared, equals C squared. All right, so then 3 squared is 9. 1 squared is 1. It's equal to C squared. So then you add those two things together. So you've got 9 plus 1, which gives you 10, is C squared. So what's our last step? Square root. No, so it's just going to be, you can leave it as the square root of 10, or if you want to put it in the calculator and get a decimal, I'm okay. I'm not gonna lie, that made me jump a little bit, like, because you were talking really like soft, and then you just like screeched. Sometimes yes. Other times, like, there's going to be times where you've got to leave it as a square root, and there's going to be times where you can put it as a decimal. I need you to not make that sound in here. Like, I hate it.